A YouTube user left a comment on my video about what I really want. The user Forza Ruta said that I say go for the PSP because the DS is too childish for us. There are not enough games that will stimulate us, especially since my favorite video game activities are blowing stuff up and or beating people up. Okay, let me tell you something. Um, while I have taken an interest in the GTA primarily because of the dialogue, I'm kind of undecided if I would be getting something like that myself. And I'm not into shooters. I prefer games that actually stimulate and require use of your mind, such as, Tetris or, like puzzle games. Crosswords for the DS, for example. So I found a couple of websites, and I'm going to try and hurry through them. And I want to give you fair warning. Some of this information is going to be slightly outdated, but I think for the most part it'll be correct. At least it will be till the 3000 comes out for the PSP, but that's not going to be for a few more weeks. So until then, we're going to have to go by this. And I have to hurry up because I don't want to overtime it. Let me start by saying that the PSP has better graphics. However, the graphics are not everything. And this is a score, and you can take a look at this for yourself. But I'll just give you the final score just to speed things up. You're the Man Dog is who put this up. Let's get back to it. Both have surround sound, headphone jack. DS Lite has a slightly quieter volume than the original, though. Both have online games, but Nintendo Wi-Fi connection is considered a better, safer, and more developed system that even has in-game online text messaging and voice IP communications. DS has a microphone that Sony just didn't think of. Now again, once the PSP 3000 comes out, this will change, I'll bet. DS has many original games and a few ports. Older games moved from an older system to a newer system is what a port is. The PSP games mainly consist of sequels and ports. The majority of good PSP games are also racing games, a very limited category, and sports games aren't as good as they look. DS cards are about 1/7 the size of PSP's UMDs. PSP has an analog stick, but it's really just a flat circle that you can move around in all directions, not a true analog stick. DS has two screens, each half the size of PSP's. PSP has a widescreen resolution that is equal to both of the DS's screens combined. The DS has a clamshell design that lets you protect it better. DS Lite has a side-loading stylus. DS is smaller and lighter. Scratches and smudges show up easier on the PSP and DS Lite. I would say that's dependent on your color. I don't think white would really show up. The DS's battery life is vastly superior to the PSP's. The DS original version has a battery life of 6 to 10 hours. The DS Lite version has a battery life of 6 to 18 hours, depending on the brightness and settings. DS can play GBA games, but they stick out of the DS Lite by 1 centimeter. But for me, that's actually a plus, because it would be easier for me to grip because of my cerebral palsy. Possibly. The PSP's price tag is a major downside. It is $250 for a PSP, while the DS Lite are only $130. And again, like I said, some of this does need to be updated. But still, the DS is cheaper. By today's standards. DS has a lot of extra colors. US, silver, blue, red, teal, pink. PSP only has black in the US, and the DS Lite only has white in the US, and obviously they've expanded this. They have expanded this since then. This needs to be, again, updated. The PSP can play MP3s and movies, but it really just makes the PSP even more expensive, considering that you have to, 1, buy movies in a UMD format, which is like buying a DVD again for an extra $5 to $10 discount, write it to a Sony Memory Stick Duo Pro. These memory cards are EXP and ENSIVE. I spelled out the letters because that's how it's written. They're just about $10 more than the SD cards. They can be written on via PC. However, many magazines have said that it is very difficult to put the media on the PSP. Kind of gimmicky. Excuse me. A side note, also, I have an iPod. So I don't see why I would use the media on the PSP. Back to the article. If you want to put media on the DS, you can. You need an accessory, though. You have to buy a thing called a flash card, aka flash cart, which is either an adapter that you can use to read SDCF or mini SD cards, or a DS storage card with internal memory. Both either plug into the GBA or and DS, or just the DS card slot, depending on which you buy, and both let you watch movies, listen to music, or play games or homemade games off the internet. I suggest the G6 flash card, M3 adapter, or soon-to-come DSX. So why doesn't anybody have them? They are unofficial and only available online. Final score: DS 46, PSP 23, DS Lite 49. The DS and DS Lite is probably the best portable gaming system out right now. If you don't play GBA games, get the DS Lite. If you do, or care more about the sound or like the backloading stylus, then get the DS Original. If you want movies or music, skip both of these systems and get an MP3 player, suggestively an iPod. They are smaller and come with loads more memory, without buying memory or memory sticks. The second item, just give me a moment to check the time. 6 minutes, I can rush through this. The next item is a thing from the Mobile Philippines website. DS Lite trumps the PSP. Mark Wilson of Gizmodo recently gave his 2 cents on why Sony's PSP will never beat Nintendo's mighty DS. He points out that while the PSP Slim enjoys its latest achievement of selling 2 million units in its first 2 months, the DS Lite has been a consistent top seller since 2005, with shops selling it like pancakes internationally. Total head-to-head sales of both mobile consoles clearly show the dominance of the DS over the PSP, with Nintendo's 40 million as opposed to Sony's 25 million. But what consumers fail to realize, or maybe not, is the fact that these two companies have different approaches to the gaming industry. Aside from the price difference between the two consoles, they also approach console development in different ways. Sony tries to enhance the gaming experience with astounding graphics. Nintendo, on the other hand, tries to provide consumers with a whole new way of playing games, with such innovations as the Wii and the dual-screened DS. This, to me, is the biggest distinction between the PSP and the DS Lite, which translates into the discrepancy of the sales. And finally, I just wanted to put my input, which is a response to Forza Ruta's comment. Tetris, Zelda, and Mario are for everyone, not just kids. And they're good for short playtimes, which, in my opinion, is really what a portable game system is designed for, and especially given my vision. I usually don't play my Game Boy Advance too much, except when I travel. And this is why I was looking at battery life. The PictoChat is a good short-range text communication tool. This, again, vision. The PictoChat has handwriting recognition. You don't have to worry about fuddling with small print on a keyboard or knowing how to enlarge text or anything, since most people probably wouldn't. So, you don't have to worry about typing it out. You can just write it, and it would show up in its handwritten form. Nice and big, no modifications necessary. But yeah, that was basically my 2 cents. And to be honest, graphics don't make the game. The game makes the game. The gameplay, the story, all that sort of thing. And the DS has some interesting titles. Another title that would be good for everybody would be, they have crosswords from USA Today. Actually, one of the few games where you actually use the unit sideways. But, yeah, you can see there's also games like let's see, what was it? Something Ace Attorney, which was teens or higher. Jackass the Game, which is obviously rated M. But that's cross-platform, and a lot of titles are cross-platform. But you can see that, clearly the DS is not just for kids. It's for everyone. And of course, so is the PSP, but their gaming library seems to be catered more towards the older audience, because they have more M-rated games. But, yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest, because I thought that was interesting. Input is welcome, and Forza Ruta, I do apologize if I've offended you. I did not mean to. Thank you, everybody else, for watching. Comments are welcome on this one. Have a nice evening, and thank you all for helping me out. Please continue to offer your input, PSP or DS, because I really like to make up my decision soon. Thank you.